Finally, in this section, we'll talk about the writing the conclusion section. So the purpose and component of the conclusion sections, we'll go through that. You have a good summary that is very useful and engaging that people could use, as you must realize that when people look for literature reviews, they look at a summary of the conclusion when choosing articles. So the purpose of the conclusion is to summarize and synthesize the key findings and restate the research objective because you have answered the objective and provide the final interpretation of your outcomes from your study. So the structure should have a summary of the key findings, the interpretation and alignment of your findings in your study to that of your research objective, and what is the contribution to that field, the body of knowledge. So the tools that we use, again, we will use things like Copilot or Types.io to kind of look at the landscape of how people write the conclusion sections and get some styles and use that to help prompt the generative AI to write your conclusion based on the data and the interpretation that you've had in your discussion section. So these are the tools that can be used to help with this. And in this section, you worthwhile is to sit down, compile all the data that you have. So remember, as you are using the generative AI to interact with the AI database to help you write this academic paper, you're using a lot of your own data, your own prompts from your previous conversation with the AI. So this is kept in memory, and all whatever the outcomes that you have written will be used as it generates the further responses. So as you use more and more of your prompts, the response is very contextualized to your data that you have provided. So again, this is not AI writing it for you. It is helping you construct that draft based on the prompts that you have created as part of your work. So plagiarism doesn't come into this at all. So you would use the various prompts that you have used and get a draft of a conclusion. Again, using Types.io, you could get, or Copilot, get some of the style of the conclusions used in other papers and use that as an example in your prompt for the AI to generate your draft of your conclusion section. And here is an example of a prompt that you can use and contextualize it to your research with your appropriate discussions that you have generated earlier on to produce your customized, authentic, contextually appropriate conclusion for your research. So it is worth the while to take the components of the conclusion section now and try it out with the various AI and share the prompts that you have used in your generation of the conclusion draft so that we can learn from